Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to my top 5 horror recommendations for the month. This is the month of November. Now, how this normally works is I will tell you how many movies that I watched, and if there are any oddball movies, I'll let you know about that. I give you 2 honorable mentions and my top 5. Now, to start with, I did watch an alternate cut of a film that I didn't allow myself to put in the top 5, although it would have definitely made the top 5, and that is The Prey, that was released by Arrow. I watched the international cut. I still need to watch the cobbled together cut, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I've always been a fan of The Prey, so yeah. And I did watch one movie this month that I do not own, and that is Last House on a Dead End Street. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Definitely an interesting and different slasher movie. Very 70s, though. Very 70s. Anyway, I clocked in 95 movies this month, which brings the total of 60 movies that I have to watch in December in order to hit 1,000. Now, was this my original goal? No, I never really thought I would get there. But now it's pretty much within reach. So I'm going to go for it and we'll see what happens. If I don't make it, I don't make it. Because December is a very busy month for everyone. So, yeah, 60 movies that I have to watch in December. Yeah. Okay, let's get into my first honorable mention. That is going to be The Cellar. Now, I did watch the director's cut because there is a director's intro on the film that basically the director tells you that you should watch the director's cut because apparently the company made a whole bunch of different cuts. So, yeah, whatever. But this was a first time watch for me and I really enjoyed it. The reason why it's an honorable mention instead of in my top 5 is because the dad in the movie was a complete jerk. And it was hard to root for anyone else but the kid. And there was a lot of animal killings in it, and I just don't like that. I don't know what his problem was with animals in this one, but yeah, this is a Vinegar Syndrome with the slipcover. Good movie, though. I really did enjoy it. A really good creature feature. All right, my second honorable mention is also a Vinegar Syndrome movie, and that is All American Murder. This was a lot of fun, a really good whodunit slasher movie, and Christopher Walken, while not in the movie a ton, was really good in it. I really enjoyed this. I had a really good time with it, and yeah, wasn't sure what to expect because I had never heard of it, but yeah, it's good film. Good film. Okay, those are my honorable mentions. Now, coming in at number 5 is a giallo, which is called Murder Obsession, also known as Murder Syndrome. Yeah. This was awesome. This actually kept me guessing until the end, and there were a lot of little twists and turns in there, which is normal for giallo, but it had some supernatural elements in it, and I thought that was really a little different from what I'm used to seeing. I really liked this movie. I thought it was cool. And that is number 5, Murder Obsession. Coming in at number 4 is The Visitor. This movie absolutely blew me away. I've heard a ton of hate on it over the years. I actually got this from Tony at Horror Taj. I won one of his contests, and he threw this in as a freebie. And I'm finally getting around to watching it now. Always wanted to see it, but I guess what kind of kept me from watching it is that I've heard so much, bad things about it. Now, people say you can't understand it, and it's just weird. Yes, it's weird, but it pretty much tells a linear story. And to me, this borderline masterpiece, in my opinion. I really love the symbolism in the film, and it's just a story of good and evil. Good versus evil. Tale as old as time. So, The Visitor, coming in at number 4. All right, coming in at number 3 was a late watch in the month, and that is The Void. Now, this one I've heard similar stuff to what I've heard about The Visitor, but I've also heard a lot of good things about The Void, and I was not prepared for what I was watching because it was awesome. This is a really cool science fiction horror creature feature slash cult demonic sort of everything and the kitchen sink thrown in. I loved it. I thought it was done so well. Kind of reminded me a little bit like Hellraiser, a little bit. I had a really good time with this. And that is The Void, coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 was a surprise. Now, I did get this for Black Friday from Walmart, and it is A Quiet Place Part 2. Everybody seemed to love the first A Quiet Place, and I heard great things about A Quiet Place 2 when it came out in theaters, and then it kind of dropped off the map. So I finally got it, watched it for myself. I actually like this better than the first one. I think it's a better paced movie, and it is just it's a really good watch. I like the first one too. I do consider it a tad bit overrated because everybody was just going crazy over it. And that makes me not want to watch a film. Fortunately, at that time I had already seen it, and I did like it. But this one, wow. Incredible. Incredible movie. Incredibly tense. And that's A Quiet Place Part 2, coming in at number 2. And my number 1, you will be hearing a lot about in the month of December. And that is a movie called, and I apologize I don't have the artwork, it's called Rampage. Now, there are 2 different cuts of this film in here that were made for me by my good buddy Joe. The theatrical cut is the 1991 film, or 1992. I think it was 1991. I talked about it so many times, I'm surprised I can't remember, but yeah, it's been a long year. So the theatrical cut, I do prefer. The original cut is the 1987 cut that was never released in theaters. How did I get it? Well, because Joe is awesome, Joe's the man, and it was only released one way, and that was a Japanese Laserdisc. And somehow he got a print of it, and I was able to watch it. And I love both cuts. This film is amazing. I don't know why this hasn't gotten a Blu-ray treatment or a DVD, at least a DVD treatment. It's directed by William Friedkin. What the heck? I mean, The Exorcist, Cruising, The French Connection. Why do we not have Rampage? It's just stupid. I don't know, whatever. But I was going to put both cuts in my top 5, but I figured I would just limit it to one. And my number 1 will be both cuts of the film because I loved this movie. It was fantastic. So, recapping, number 1 is Rampage, both the 1987 and the 1991 cuts. Number 2 is A Quiet Place Part 2. Number 3 is The Void. Number 4 is The Visitor. Love this movie. Blew me away. Number 5 is Murder Obsession, also known as Murder Syndrome. And my 2 honorable mentions are All American Murder and The Cellar. Thank you, Dave Maggot. Alright, guys. Like I said, 60 movies in December. If I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. Not sure what I'm going to do if I hit 1,000 as something special. Maybe I'll pick my top 20 for the year. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this has been it's been a very hard year. But I have watched a lot of films, so there's a bright spot to every bad year, I guess. Thank you guys for watching and commenting, and stay tuned for December, which will be my either grand finale or epic fail. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.